assessment for the tax rolls still bring in the tax dollars? Or is this going to be something that was going to apply for exemption or that sort of thing?
There'll be more.
I think there was testimony last time about this would be substantial increase.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next, Ms. Brown.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for coming, please.
Paula Brown, 206 Highland Avenue, Darby, Pennsylvania. Have some questions for Mr. McDougall. Mr. McDougall, your dad is John, right?
That's correct.
I think we met about 13 years ago. This facility, this correctional facility, you say it's not a correctional facility, you call it an educational facility, but it's a correctional facility. Is that a MinSec?
No.
It's not MinSec.
No.
What is it? Visionary? What company of yours is going to be operating this?
We're not the operator.
Okay. So you're not the operator. You are just rehabbing the building?
Yes.
So you're not operating.
Yeah, we'll have operational guides, but we will have programs in there. We've been in discussions with the Veterans Administration, several other groups that want to provide services.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you again, what is the name of the company or the business?
Quarry Equities is the owner.
Quarry Bridge, Quarry Equities.
No.
Okay, so we got Quarry Equities, we got Quarry Bridge, we got MinSec, we got CEC, we got all these different companies, visionaries, right? Frank Aliardi is Quarry Bridge, correct?
Correct.
Frank is the owner of the building. Are you purchasing the building?
Yes, we already put into testimony, and there's a copy of the agreement of sale that was part of the application.
So you are going to purchase the building from Frank?
Yes.
Okay. So this group that is operating this facility is called who?
Quarry Equities.
Quarry Equities. So basically, you have MinSec, you have CEC. Did you combine with CEC now? Or is MinSec CEC or CEC is MinSec, or I don't know what the latest is. You still have MinSec, correct?
No.
No?
No.
So you don't operate MinSec anymore?
No.
Okay, so MinSec had some financial problems in Hazleton, correct?
No.
With their halfway house
What
up
does that
there.
have to do with
This
you?
has a lot to do with this because, you see, there's a company called MinSec, there's visionaries, they're all by Mr. McDougall and his father. And they came to this town 13 years ago, not to this town, they were going to operate this same facility at the Fells NAFTA plant at Island Road, and myself and Councilwoman Janice Davis and Councilwoman at the time Helen Thomas and the Chief of Police Robert Smythe all went against this facility when they were coming in to Philadelphia. Okay, and this was council looks into locking out private prisons.
All right.
Now,
one at a time can speak.
let me finish.
Ms. Brown, you may finish.
Thank you. So 13 years ago, you tried to put a similar facility like this at Fells NAFTA, and Darby Borough, and Colwyn Borough, and Anna Verner from the city of Philadelphia shut you down. Correct?
No.
No. Did you say no or yes?
I said no.
You said no. Did you build your facility there?
No.
And we shut you down.
You didn't shut me down.
Well, you backed out.
Okay.
You backed out because the three of us, the three towns, got together and we looked in to your facility.
Ms. Brown,
Now,
do you have another question?
Yeah, I do. I have several.
Well, please get to the next question.
Is there a time limit?
Well, I do want it to be focused. So
I am focused.
please move to the next.
Okay, Mr. Power, you don't live here in this town. We all live here. And this is a major decision for us.
Ma'am,
Now,
please
these
move to the next
facilities
question.
are in Hazleton, where Hazleton is having major problems with it. And this was built in downtown Hazleton. You had, let's see, MinSec to get a closer look. They want to relocate it from downtown. Owners of MinSec refute the New York Times article where they tore your facility apart in MinSec. MinSec resident uses city computer for porn. Halfway house in the city goes on a PR offensive. Your problems with MinSec in Hazleton were so bad you had to go out and hire a PR person to rectify your reputation. Okay, MinSec Chester has had numerous problems. In MinSec Chester, you can call it MinSec, you can call it Quarry Bridge, you can call it Quarry, whatever you want to call it, it's your company. And it's a correctional facility. Correctional facility would hurt Upland. You came to Upland, Upland turned you down. You're suing Upland now, aren't you?
No.
Okay. Okay. MinSec is suing Upland.
No.
You're done suing them.
No.
You never instigated litigation
Ms.
against
Brown,
Ms.
Ms.
Brown, you have to move on.
This
Is that what you're
is
saying?
not relevant.
This is
So you're going to
not
sit there and where this specifically states visionary company
Brown.
and MinSec company, privately owned businesses
Why
from
can't she
John
talk?
and Sean
Mr.
McDougall.
Why can't she talk?
That's not
They
you.
live on the street.
You
that's
don't
why.
have to live with it.
So
We
you're
do. Let her
sitting
talk.
here not telling the
Excuse me.
truth.
Ms. Brown,
Excuse
if
me.
you have
Yeah,
another
literally.
question that's relevant, please
29-year-old West
You might have
Philadelphia
my
man
taxes.
murder victim
So-
outside of MinSec going
Mr.
back to
McDougall,
MinSec.
you don't have to answer any of this right now. This is
State police searching for escapee out of MinSec Chester. Alleged halfway house escapee out of MinSec Chester and his sister arrested. Upland focuses on halfway house litigation. Brookhaven opposes MinSec halfway house. Police. Brookhaven burglar caught in the act. Where from? Your facility in Chester. Sixth inmate accidentally released from prison. MinSec. CEC. Come on. You're all one big, you have numerous companies that you operate. You've done this since 1995. You testified this. You have facilities, correctional facilities, all over the state of Pennsylvania. You're also even trying to go into, where is it, somewhere in West Virginia. Okay, this is your money-making business. That's great. That's wonderful. I applaud you for being such an entrepreneur. You're making millions of dollars off of these facilities. But you see, my job, and I'm not in this for the money, I'm just a lowly criminal justice major from Temple University who knows the prison system inside and out. I don't make money from the prison system like you do. Okay? We need reform? Absolutely. We need to help these people reintegrate back into society? Absolutely. But you're doing it for profit. Okay? And you're putting it in the middle of a totally residential area. There's no businesses around. Okay? Not only are you doing that, where are you going to put these 400 offenders, because that's what they are offenders, and you can say that they are nonviolent. These might be violent offenders that got out, did their time in the halfway house, went home, and then caught another charge, so now they're back in the system again. They recidivated, and now they're in this facility. Okay? Where are you going to put them when the creek floods? Where are you going to evacuate 400? Where are they going to go? We don't have evacuation places for the 12,000 residents that we have, let alone another additional 400. Our sewer system in that specific area is over 100 years old. 100 years old. Where are these 400 toilets and everything else that are going to be operated 24 hours a day, not 8 hours a day like it was used to be for a factory? Where is that going to go? You're going to replace our sewer systems? You know, there's a lot of unanswered questions here, and there's a lot of things that you are portraying to us that is not true. You sent us, the borough sent us a letter telling this flowery letter about this social service building. This is a halfway house for criminal offenders. There is no other way about that. You can say that you're re-educating them, whatever. They're not allowed to leave. They have to go in the morning, go do their jobs, and come back. And what happens when they leave and go do their jobs, there's problems. There's problems at all your MinSec facilities. in North Philadelphia, in South Philadelphia, everywhere. And now you're going to try and do this in our residential area? Put it in Wallingford, where you live.
You were moving in or asking to move in. My concern would be if you're having trouble, because I was going to ask before, Paul, how many facilities you had, and I think you said about 15. I don't know what the, you know, the outcome. She stated some of the problems that you've had. My concern with any correction agency moving into a neighborhood where there are families is to say, what do you do when things go wrong? How's the borough going to, you know, how do you guys work together to you know, help the residents? Because if it's a correction agency, she's absolutely right. You should be concerned about who's coming into the neighborhood. Darby right now has a lot of problems. We have a lot of new people here in Darby Borough. We're seeing problems that we've never seen before. And we're dealing with a high drug influx because people are out of work. So when you start talking about bringing a facility into Darby, and that these people, they need to be, as you say, you know, somebody has to help, something has to be done. I agree. But what happens when this goes wrong? How well, when she asks you, how often are you coming to these facilities? And you're saying you're doing it by remote control or however you're doing it, you email, whatever. Okay, our concern, and whoever is on that board, whoever's going to be on the board needs to be on the ball. You know, because if we're allowing a facility to come in, you need to know your stuff. Okay, and if you don't know it, you need to do some reading and research. And that's my, honestly, because this isn't just, you know, a baseball game coming in, or, you know, it's a hobby and the kids are going to be playing basketball. This is real. You know, it's real. So you guys need to think about it. I'm all for people being, you know, having help and getting help. You know, I've had help in certain things that I needed. Everybody has their own wagon to pull. But we have to know what happens when the person goes off the radar. What happens when they're in your backyard? What happens? How is that facility really running? If they're having problems in one facility, what are they doing about it? What are they doing about it? So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Very much. And for the record, Tommy, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Just want you to know that. Who's next?
Me too.
No, I'm going to say something. Yes, step forward, and then you'll be next. I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand up. You'll be next.
Hi, my name is Howard Stockley, 415 Chester Pike
Yes.
on the hill. I hear a lot of things, and I'm proud of the brothers too. So I hear a lot of good things, programs for the criminals. What is the benefit for the residents? How is it beneficial for us to allow you to come here? What do we get out of allowing people to come here, you know, that do have those problems? And I don't mind that. I don't mind people getting help either. You know, it's a great thing. But I just want to know what the residents get out of that.
What are you saying, Mr. Howard?
How is it beneficial?
Return?
Yeah, how is it beneficial to the community?
To the community?
Yeah, how will it help the community?
Good question. First, let me clear up the difference. Correctional center, the individual will be held there against their will. This facility, if an individual doesn't want to be there, they don't have to be there. They have to want to seek out the help. I think any person who's been through a program would tell you, we're not a cure. We can't correct in 4 or 6 months a lifetime of behavior. We provide an opportunity. We provide a place to go to seek out help and treatment. If those individuals don't want to be there, they don't have to be there. They can go somewhere else. We do not hold anybody against their will. That's a distinct difference between what I'm proposing and what Ms. Brown would have you believe. To answer your question, a facility of this size, I think someone stated earlier, unfortunately, in Pennsylvania, if you have a real drug problem or you have a mental health problem, or both, what they call a dually diagnosed population, there's not a lot of places to go and get help. Unfortunately, you have to be convicted of a crime and then they'll pay for it. But if you're not convicted of a crime, it's challenging for people to find places to go and get access to this kind of care. So what we provide to the residents of the community is we're going to take an old building and put millions of dollars into the construction. There's going to be employment. We're doing something that we've never been able to do before because of the size of the building, which is actually have job training in the center. Historically, we've teamed up with Impact or Career Link or other agencies. We have to send the individuals out to try and find employment. Because of the size and location of this building, we'll be able to do job training, vocational training within the facility.
Are we talking about for the community members or?
Well, in terms of, so the community will have access to the resources coming from the facility. There's jobs. There's an economic impact of roughly $50,000 a year community impact fees, which the facility will pay to the borough for the borough to use at their discretion within the community. We're estimating upwards of $100,000 in real estate taxes that facility will pay out. There's going to be a $5,000 per year contribution to the Police Athletic League, which the police
paying
department has requested.
Paying them
And
off.
there's community service work that will be conducted by the individuals residing there at the direction of the Community Advisory Board.
They already paid the taxes,
Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
whether anybody's there or not.
Mr. Robinson? I'm sorry, Mr. Robinson.
I just have one question. Are there going to be sex offenders?
Please state your name.
Oh, Annette Ryan, 1101 Lawrence Avenue, Darby.
Thank you.
Are there going to be sex offenders in
No.
this?
No.
Now, and they would deed restrict the property going forward, so whether my firm owns it or someone else owns it in the future, we are willing to deed restrict it so that that use could never be used there.
So is it going to be people that have robbed homes or stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily. The bulk of the crimes are drug-related, whether it be distribution.
Are they coming from county, state? Where are these people coming from?
Delaware County,
It's just Delaware County.
predominantly Delaware County.
Okay, and like they said, when these people aren't back at this facility at 5 o'clock, who's going to run out and find them?
You know, if they're not back at 5 o'clock, you know, they're considered AWOL from the program, they could lose their position within the facility. I told you before, the common misconception is, oh, will someone put a chair through the window and jump out? No. If they don't want to be there, they'll go to work and not come back. They're not.
Well, they have to be there to get out of prison, so.
Well, no, ma'am. That's not the case. You're going to have individuals who are out, maybe have been through prison, are out living on their own. They've got a technical violation.
And would you like this around your kids? That's my next question.
I'm sorry.
Would you like this around your kids? Would you like 400 people in this situation around your kids?
It's a little question. I deal with it every day. Have I had my kids?
You don't live around that. And congratulations
Wallingford.
to you.
Well, thank you very
I
much.
know he is. I used to live there.
Mr. Robinson, please come
Good evening, everyone. My name is Al Robinson, 137 North 10th Street. I'm also the commander of the VFW Post 974. My question is for the veterans. And we all know once Barack stops the war and the veterans start coming back, we're interested in where they want to get jobs, opportunities and things, and that the veterans can get. That's a real important thing. I came in late on the information, of course, but we'd be very interested in learning because there's a lot of homeless veterans. As you know, there's also courts and things that they have just set aside just for veterans and things. But we'd like to know what we could do to help, especially if you're going to promote and give opportunities to the veterans. So if you have some information that we can take, our post, and there's two posts on Revive and there's 598, which is Company of Kennedy, and it's also this. So would be very interested in that, because once the war stops and they come home, we're talking about the criminals on the street, and if these guys don't have jobs too, some of them have post-traumatic stress and different things, so we need to kind of have a hill for them to fall on when they come in too. So we'd be very interested in that, something that everyone can consider. Then they're not here now, but if we talk about things that's happening now with the crimes and all, if they come home, they don't have jobs, that's just double. So it's something for everyone to consider there.
Thank you. Next. Yes, please.
They call me Charlie Poor. I live at 303 Pablo Street, Darby, PA. First, it is good sometimes to help individuals, especially the person who are fall into certain crimes. But once a man, I've been in Darby for the past 9 years, almost 10 years already. And there are a series of problems. Sometimes when we leave our house and go to job, sometimes they are fighting in the street, and police are trying their best in the area to help our kids. And then, if some people who have been committing crime, over 400 people to bring them in our midst, sometimes it will be another problem. But it is good sometimes people who does wrong, you help them. But I believe that you found a neutral area so that when they walk a long distance and come in for them to start their life, it will be much better than to bring them in the midst of us at the present situation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is anyone else? Yes, sir. The one in the back. You'll be next.
My name is Dallas Andrew, 134 North 4th Street. I just want to know, you're saying that you're getting people into the program. Is there going to be people like this out of Darby? Same people that we got on the street? Or where they coming from? Besides just saying that it ain't going to be a prison. It's not going to be mandatory to stay in the program. So if they're not mandatory, that means that they're not convicted felonies or in jailers.
You're going to get populations coming directly from the VA. You're going to get a population coming from Veterans Court. You're going to get a population of what they call, could be a technical parole violator, someone who's been out and been out of prison for some time, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, has a technical violation, and they want to target that person for counseling and treatment so they don't commit a crime that's going to put them back in prison. So there's a lot of emphasis and focus on that population. What the state and what many counties have realized is as many people as you can try and get out of prison early, that doesn't solve the problem if just as many are coming back in the front door. So they're really focusing on a population. We have an individual who might be out, has an apartment, has a job, starts using drugs, and they're tested positive for that. It's what they call a technical violation. They should go to jail for that. The goal here is we'll get them counseling and treatment, because the minute you take that person off the street, they can't pay for their apartment, they can't provide for their families, they're going to lose their job, they're going to lose their health care. It's more detrimental to the individual putting them back into the system rather than giving them care. So to answer your question, the goal here is it's a Delaware County population. It wouldn't be specific to Darby, it would be county specific.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? Yes, next. Next, and then you'll be next.
Hi, my name is Darby Borough. I live at 210 Hamilton Avenue, which is 3 doors up from the proposed facility. One, I didn't know anything about this until I received a letter, what's today, Tuesday? Saturday. I think it was, first of all, done underhanded, especially since I live 3 doors up from that facility. And I'm a long-time Darby resident. I've lived in my home for 47 years. And I don't approve the sneakiness about it. As far as the borough has it hard enough as it is. We pay taxes, and the police officers are understaffed. They can't handle that facility. Our fire department is volunteer. They can't handle that facility. Now, when you talk about, oh, well, when they go out and they don't want to come back, well, that means they're roaming my community, our community, where our kids our grandkids are. I don't want them around my daughter. I don't care what crimes they've committed. She's my daughter, and it's my right and the community's right to protect our children. And you're not there. You do your protection and updating by emails. That's not protecting the community. I don't understand how you want to bring in something so massive into a residential neighborhood. A neighborhood that I've been part of all of my life. My daughter has been raised there. That neighborhood is not meant for this type of facility. You don't have it in your neighborhood. Why? Why shove it down on ours? Because we live in Darby? Is that why? We have rights too. We're human beings. This is a small town. I've watched this town go from here to here, and it's trying to go back up. When your clients decide they don't want to come back, then that puts a burden on our police department to find your clients that are roaming our neighborhoods with our kids and our grandkids. Ask the people of the neighborhoods. We all live within a 2-3 block area. We don't want it. We don't need that. We're trying to come back up. We don't need the added aggravation. We don't need the added crime. Yes, everyone has a right to be rehabilitated. Put them in an area that can handle that kind of rehab. Not to mention the fact, that building has been through 3 hurricanes. Floyd, Irene, Sandy, all the flooding. Do you know a man died in that creek behind there during Floyd? Do you remember that? He was the owner of Collingdale Pizza. The water swept him away. That water at that building that you're talking about, where's that picture? Picture the building that you have. The water was up to the trestle. There's still a water line there to this day. How are you going to evacuate over 400 people? And then when you do evacuate them, where are you going to put them? You're going to burden the fire department with that? Our police department? What about Fitzgerald Mercy Hospital? They can't handle that. What you're proposing is too much for this residential neighborhood. And I can say that because I know that. It's a tiny little parking lot. And this plot right here that you're saying, oh, has houses right here and a train right here, that's a gully. They dig that out, those houses are going to collapse, along with the train tracks that are on the opposite side. You might make it sound like roses, but talk to somebody who's been living there all their life and don't want their neighborhood destroyed. We're trying to put it back up. We don't need to have it knocked down any further. We finally got rid of the drug dealers in our neighborhood. We don't walk out in the street. At least I don't have the needles. I don't want them back. Would you let your daughters play with crack vials? Find needles?
That's everywhere.
It is everywhere, but I don't want it back.
It's not everywhere. It's not everywhere. We keep our place clean. We don't allow it.
I just want to say one thing. You notice I have my hand was given March 12th, so I don't know why. How come you didn't receive it? I didn't.
I didn't get mine either. It was less than 24 hours.
So just to clarify, please, listen. The zoning hearing board rules are simple. They have to be mailed out to anything that's going to disturb anybody within 200 feet of the property. Just hold on for a second, please. The notice for this hearing was produced twice. It was in the paper 4 times. So it was advertised by the rules. Okay? Thank you.
I just wanted to ask your name again. Thank you. All right, next. Thank you. Yes, sir.
How you doing? I'm Steve DiGregorio. I own a property at 231 Mill Street, and it's land. I bought it 7 years ago. I paid taxes on it. I was thinking about developing it. It's zoned residential. Maybe putting a townhouse, getting a partner who's in the business, and building something there, and improving the land and giving more taxes to the borough. I believe that you're going to restructure the water flow if you put a facility in that big. I'm assuming you are, right? Because it is in the flood zone. You know, that's what I'm hoping. You know,
It's not restructuring the workflow.
Oh, no, or it's just maybe that's supporting the 400, you know.
The engineers have, the sewer is adequate to take care of it. That's number one. The people that will be living in the facility will all be well above flood level. Even if they were.
That's what I want to know, because
The
I like
lower
the
level is going to be used for actually training of job programs for diesel conversion.
So it's going to be taken care of.
That's for my work. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Pat, because we're trying to get through, still have people here. Could you please step forward and state your
My
full
name is
name?
Patrick McKenna, 20 Vermont Circle, RGPI. I have one question. Will this training that is to happen at this facility be available to veterans who have not been adjudicated of any crimes?
Yes.
So you don't have to be an adjudicated nonviolent offender to benefit from the facility.
Matter of fact, this actually
Thank you. Is there anyone else that didn't speak? We already speak. We're not going back again, that's it.
Leave and don't come back.
I'm sorry. That's it. Is there anything else? We've already spoken, we're done. Yes.
I'm a little late coming in. I was wondering if all this is going to happen.
Can you step forward and state your name, please?
My name is Jermaine Miller. I live 244 Mill Street, right down the street. So when is this supposed to be taking place?
That wouldn't be for about a year.
A year? And are our taxes going to go down as a result of this?
No.
Probably go up, and our property value is going to drop. That's what's going to happen.
When a correctional facility comes in, it drops 18,000.
Please.
Ma'am, I think you're asking questions of him that he doesn't make those decisions. He doesn't set the tax rate or hire for the police department, so.
Are you going to hire more policemen?
No. No.
This is not, I think, the forum.
You have an extra money come in.
Ma'am, if you want to comment, or perhaps that would be a good use if money came
Those
in.
are those are the questions I have.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we're going to go into recess, and we'll be back as soon as we deliberate on this. I mean, people should really stand together. And we're Americans. We're gonna get through the storm. We have made a decision, and the decision was granted in part. And Mr. Powers will explain.
First of all, there will be a written decision in the next few weeks detailing the findings of fact and conclusions of law. But the majority of the requested relief the board has granted. The requested relief essentially consisted of a use variance to allow those uses allowed under Section 1101 to be allowed on the property. The board has decided to grant that in part. Specifically, those uses allowed under Section 1101, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9 will be granted. Specifically, we're not allowing any type of school use to ever be allowed on the property. We're not allowing any type of daycare center or group daycare home to be operated on the property. Some of the others are moot. For instance, cemetery, public park or recreational use, surface parking lot. But the 1 through 5, 7, and 9, including community residence facility group-based, that use has been allowed. As to the variance for parking on the accessory lots, which are in the R2 district, that variance has been granted as well. Now, all the relief is going to be subject to conditions, and the conditions will be laid out in the decision. And the conditions essentially will be that the clients of any facility at the location be non-violent, as that term is commonly understood and used in law and in the field of social work. That no clients be convicted or adjudicated of any violent acts, again, as that term is commonly used. that all the clients be low-risk clients, again, as that term is commonly used. There's conditions that will be applied for the Community Advisory Board. And the zoning board felt very strongly about this, that we want a number of the members of the Community Advisory Board to be approved by Borough Council to ensure that those members will protect Darby Borough's interest in the operation of the facility. I'll work out some language as to how that's to be done, but essentially we do want half or essentially half of those members to be approved by Borough Council. And again, that will be laid out. Another condition is that there will be full-time security. Again, we're not mandating what type of security per se, but the security will be full-time, 24/7. Appropriate cameras, lighting. All the clients are to be drug tested. All employees have background checks. There was testimony about the community inputs or impact fees that would be paid on a yearly basis. We want that to be a condition of the decision, as well as I believe the $5,000 contribution toward Police Athletic League. There was testimony in the first hearing about non-resident clients. We want them to be subject to the same types of scrutiny as the residential clients. Appropriate curfew regulations, again, to the point where there will be no, that the clients will be in the facility except for the specified purposes that they're allowed to be out. No sex offenders would be allowed as clients, and that the accessory parking lots across the street not be developed without seeking approval to do so from the zoning. Again, the decision will be written and will be reviewed and signed by the three zoning hearing board members, and we'll get that out. I always say 10 days, it usually takes a little bit longer. And any appeal periods will start to run from when the borough officially mails out the decision for anyone that is interested in taking any type of appeal. Thank you.